Feel safe, feel secure. ATA Security.
Excitement, excitement, excitement. That's what's happening here at the Taste of Dublin, where we're bringing the food to the people, and the people are certainly here with the food. I have friends and colleagues here, Paul and Peter. You know, you're dealing with the meat, different meats. And I remember long ago, there was only the four, the lamb, the pork, and the beef, you know, with our chicken. Like, there's a range of new meats coming into Dublin, and I see it on all the menus.
That's right.
What style of meats?
Well, the style of meats are coming in now. We've a range on our stall there. We've antelope fillets, ostrich. We've some crocodile fillets and that. And people are amazed that you can actually get them here, you know.
Yeah.
So
and are the restaurants actually buying those?
Oh, they are, yeah. A lot of the places now that we supply from Cornies is they will be looking for a lot of game. And it's starting to come back as Irish game as well. They're looking for like fresh Irish game, you know.
And what kind of dishes would we see in the menu using some of these products?
Well, an awful lot are using the venison haunch now and the venison fillet, and they're coming up with new ideas with the antelope and the ostrich. You know, so it's really kicking in already, you know.
Yeah. Well, I just see that all these new restaurants that are opening in Dublin, they're bringing a different style. It's a fusion cuisine, of course, and there's a lot of different influence from abroad. But also, there's the Irish attacking back with our good products, also our style, and also our Irish chefs. And that's a good chef like yourself, Paul. You have the skill. You've been in the job so many times, and you see the young chefs out there. What are they up to?
Well, they're bringing in new trends as well. As you said, there's an awful lot of ethnic communities coming into Dublin as well, and they're bringing their spices and things for us, and they're looking at that as well. You know, they're coming on board, they're coming on the stream. The colleges are doing an awful lot of ethnic cooking now. The syllabus will call for ethnic cooking and Mediterranean cuisine, but you can actually see the Irish food coming back in the Irish dishes coming back in, you know, the traditional dishes coming back in, and that's what people are looking for now.
And Peter, what signature dishes would you say some of the restaurants are using, like the different meats? Like,
well, as Paul was saying, Rory, the one thing about Ireland is we've always had the best products, always, and our problem years ago was we tend to outsource them internationally, and we never kept the produce here. But now we're working harder to keep everything local. Venison, wild boar, we're now farming it here ourselves. And a good thing with the ethnic minority is they're coming in, they're working in our restaurants, and they're upgrading the food. And as you said, a long time ago we only had 4 meats, you know, beef, lamb, pork, bacon. Now we're bringing in the crocodile and menus of people are becoming more aware of these products. Irish people are starting to try. Years ago, it was very hard to get somebody away from boiled bacon and cabbage and potatoes, you know, even though it's possibly one of the renowned dishes here in the country. But now we'll try the venison and we'll try, you know, lamb shanks and rustic food. And the good thing is that we have the knowledge, we have the chefs, we have the juniors coming through now in colleges, and it's up to us in Dublin. Never mind internationally. Make Ireland stand out, because we have the products and we have the knowledge, and let's do it now.
Yeah. Another thing here at the Taste of Dublin is that you can taste all the different foods going on, and the lads here again, we've been indulging, we've been having the wine, and also we've been looking what the ethnic have been doing, and we're doing all the little spring rolls. I've seen that they've been grilling nice little barbecue with all the marinades and all
samosas and things like that.
And again,
samosas, yeah.
a lot of your meats would actually go with
oh yeah, definitely. And again, we're getting back to the Irish quality. I mean, the quality of Irish food and beef, lamb, game, the whole lot. It's there, and it just needs to be sourced more already. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about, and it goes back to the platform of cookery. you only put in what you get out, and you only get out what you put in.
Definitely.
And that's what the whole platform of Irish cuisine is. And people are beginning to understand that we always had the best produce, but we never had the actual style to bring it forward. And now with the different ethnic cuisines coming in, they are putting the pressure on us chefs to develop and do our own things, and also to parallel exactly what's going on with
of
that.
course.
So I thank the two boys
problem,
here.
Rory.
Thanks
Thank
a
you
million
very much,
there.
Rory.
No problem
Very
indeed.
much appreciated.
And
Much
we'll be
appreciated.
sampling more of your
Please go.
products. We'll
Please
be
go.
going around there. This is Rory Morahan as the Druid Chef. Bring the food to the people and the people to the food.
Nobody loves me. Nobody seems to care. Yeah, well, one thing, my good Lord, bring me down, my sweet loving girl. Every day I got those blues. Every way I got those blues. Yeah, when I'm walking around my hotel, looking for a scent of you.
Anybody know what this is? A sod of turf, be Jesus. So I make turf oil, and I cook with turf oil. And that for me is ancient Ireland. That's thousands of years old. And that is the circle of that. And how do I make that? I fuse it in a big vat and I let it cook for around 48 hours. And then I put it through muslin and I mix with herbs and that. And I get a lovely flavour for my grilling or my frying and all that. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the turf oil in there. And that's what I call land vision food. Land vision food. Because I'm using the land, I'm using the vision, I'm using the food. And when you look at when they found bog butter, they found bodies in the bog. The preservatives in it is unbelievable. When we look at the likes of the Burren and all these areas around Ireland, you know, they're fantastic. And I think it's up to us chefs to go and look at new flavours that represent Ireland and really bring a new glow on that. So we're just cooking up here now. Now, let me show you another thing. I work with a blacksmith called Mark Keeling, and he makes me all my lovely pokers and all that. I have branded my salmon of knowledge with that, okay? And that for me brings a Celtic alive. You know, that is art. I call this circular food because I'm using the circles of Celtic design in that. You see my stand there, you know? I'll go to every level in the actual culture to see can I link it up with the food, because it's so important. It's the last frontier of Irish art to come alive, is the Irish cuisine. We have our Gaeilge back, we have our dancing, our poetry, our writing, our Bono's done his world tour, great. But where are the chefs and where are our food? And I think we have to be on an escalator of progress on that. So I just add in my little bit of salmon, give it a little seasoning. And that's wild salmon. Okay, so this is just coming along nicely. Oh, very nice indeed. Okay, what am I going to use? As I said, I don't like using just potatoes. You know, potatoes, veg and fish. It's nothing to me. So I like to use what I call the breton. I made oatmeal pancakes. And the pancake I'm turning into a tagliatelle. You see that? And that's what I will base the dish on. So I'll fry that off with a little bit of spring onion. I'll make a little cream sauce and we'll get that all cooked up nicely. I'll brush this with honey. And again, when we're talking about the salmon and knowledge, you know, and the knowledge of salmon, you know, people, when I'm out and about in my other job, people ask me about wild salmon and how available it is and all that. Wild salmon is going to be delisted next year because there isn't enough. Ireland is booming. The demand for salmon product alone is unbelievable. So what you'll have is you'll have an organic farm salmon coming in place of the wild salmon. And then once that's up to its quota, we start getting in from Alaska, or the wild salmon and that. And it's a sad it's a sad state of affairs that we can't get the wild salmon as we would like, because it's such a lovely product. And when you eat wild salmon, you know that is the bee's knees and that. Okay, this is cooking nicely. So it's doing lovely. And again, when we're talking about the salmon and knowledge, and we talked about Fionn and Finnegas and that, and Fionn was cooking the salmon for the master, and he told him to mind it, I'll be back, and he's going to eat this salmon to get the knowledge, and he was going to be the top warrior. And Fionn pricked his finger with the actual salmon bone, and he went like that. And that's how he got the knowledge. And when Finnegas came back, he knew that the knowledge had been transferred to this young warrior. And I love to hear stories like that. I'm always looking for other ones. Dayton's Pig would be another story, where King Conor's looking for the big feast and the biggest pig in Ireland, and they're all chasing around looking for the pig. Fantastic things. And that's what I call the hidden Ireland. There's so much wealth of culture here, and that's my basis for creating recipes and bringing the food stories alive, and also looking at, you know, different angles that we can be Irish about food and be as good as anybody else. Okay, let's get painting. So I like to brush this with a little honey. All right, so I'll just move this around. So you're all with me so far? Okay, what I'm going to do there is just fry off these. Do a little my pancake, and a little bit of scallion in there. Don't forget my little bit of seasoning. And then the sauce, I just chop a little herb. Again, I just get my cream. And again, it's a light sauce because of a heavy pancake. Just move this around. Okay. Out onto my nice dish. All those lovely. And that is the starch factor that I'm giving with that. There's no potato. I'm going into Breton laws. And anyone that can understand Breton laws, it's where the grain of the land was the actual commodity. And there's a saying as well during the Breton laws that the higher up the noble ranking, the finer your porridge grain was. And again, you know, before Sir Walter Raleigh came and any potato hit Ireland, that's what we were living off. And why not use that in our creative? Oatmeal is becoming very, very fashionable. It's very healthy. It's very in new diets. It's out there, and I'm trying to incorporate it into a lot of my dishes in that. Okay, so get the salmon there, lovely. And that can go. And just a little bit of sauce there. It's a light sauce just to put around. The lovely honey flavour on the salmon. And that's where we're at there. Then I just get a few batons of the chive. So you're all still with me so far? Thank you very much indeed. Lovely. Okay, that dish there is ready.
Feel safe, feel secure. ATA Secured. Feel safe, feel secure. ATA Secured.
I call this a Christian pagan pot roast chicken. Now I'm just going to put the chicken on so it starts cooking. Then I'm going to show you how I made it up, and then we can get working on that. Okay? So I had a nice piece of chicken there. Just take off the actual flap. I got a little bit of the cling wrap. I'm trying to do everything as I can in front of you so that you're not missing anything. But also I'm trying to be ahead of myself as well, so I have to have a few little tricks up there. So just tap that out. So what I've done is I've flattened the fillet. You know, and this is a normal piece of chicken. I just cut down by the breast there. I'm making a pocket. Okay? So I'm opening that up and I'm getting ready for my parcel. So I have a little piece of cabbage there. I just blanched, made like a little page. put that on my board, and I have some black and white pudding in there with little bacon, onion that are fried off. Okay. All right, we'll just keep that going. So I just put that in there like that. That can go. And then I'm just going to roll it up like this. So what I've done is like a little bullet on it, okay? Just put that, all those nice pieces can go in. And then I take the actual flap of chicken, and then I'm going to seal it all around. And that's my parcel of chicken. All right, so in cooking the chicken here, I'll just put in a little bit of batter, organize that. I need to get my sauces on for this. So again, what have I got? I have a little bit of chicken jus there. And what I'm going to do with that is just heat that up. And then I will put in a little bit of the cream into that, make it nice and creamy. And then I'm going to do my black Guinness glaze around the actual sauce. So I need to make a little potato cake for this. And what I'm doing is, again, organic, just get a little bit of potato, grate it away. I like to use the apple of the tree and the apple of the ground. Mix the two of them together. Celtic salt, get it in my pan, and then we can get a potato cake done out of that. Okay, and then I just get some apple. And grate all that. So they're in happy still, that's what we want to know. Don't forget, we're on the journey together, we're all in this, we're on the one road. Now, there we have it. Right, just putting all my potato in that. Right, so the chicken is just cooking nicely there. I'm going to put the potato cake into that, let that cook as quick as it can. We'll do up the two sauces and then we'll display it. And look at this bowl, what I have. Wow. And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't stop at just cooking a bit of food. You know, it's a feeling of food and it's an understanding and that. You know, and also it's looking at what we can do. And all right, I'm just cooking that nice and slow. As I said, I'll just get the potato in there now. All right. All right, so that's there. Okay. And the other thing that I'll say as well, when we're talking about the likes of black and white pudding and pig food, like the word piggy bank comes from Ireland, when you had a word called muxakishton, the pig in the kitchen. And that's where they fed the pig like a savings. And when they actually killed the pig or slaughtered the pig, they got the big joints for the gentry house, and then they got all the offcuts to make their black and white pudding, their crew beans, their brawn, their bacon, all these lovely dishes that come from Ireland that are instilled in Irish cuisine. But don't forget, muxakishton, pig in the kitchen, is where it happened. And that was only one ingredient that we're left access to. You know, we had very little else. We had our potato and we had our pig. We had very little else outside. Anyone that was beside the sea, if they had the art of fishing, was great. But by the time the famine came, you know, people just began to fall. They were sick, they were tired, they'd gone through this for centuries, and it was just collapse time on that. And I often think about that as well. When Bob Geldof in '85, that's what spurred me on. And he did Live Aid and seeing the famine over in Ethiopia. I realised myself that at the end of the day, we suffered famine, and we never dealt with that. We pushed it under the carpet, and we haven't done anything culinary about it. And that's another feeling that I have inside of me in this. Okay. All right, I have my little cake there shaped. The chicken is just nice. Now I just have to make sure that's nicely cooked. It is a big piece of chicken, so we just cut that and then we'll load it up. Like the nice sauce is there. That's lovely. Just got another little bit of cream in that. Okay, so this is number 4 of the 5. Now, Lovely. Now that's coming nice, bien doré, golden brown. The chicken is cooking nicely. I've the sauce on, just nearly ready to plate up. Okay. Yeah. I'll just see how my. And again, don't forget, this is all in oatmeal, and then also it's in the turf oil. You know, two very strong flavours that I bring to Ireland and that. Yeah, just like that. Okay, so just let them cook for a little bit and then we're ready. Right, just get the sauce on. Put that all around nicely. In my lovely column de riche Celtic bowl. And again, you know, it spurs me on that when you see other artists doing their art, you know, and that you can link it up with yours, you know, there's a great out synergy. Right, my little bit of Guinness reduction. Now, nice little bit of chicken. A little bit of herbs, lovely herbs, I love them. They're absolutely fantastic, just around my dish. And there you have it, ladies and gents. That is our Christian Pagan pot roast chicken. Very, very nice indeed, and really, you know, brings for me a togetherness of Irish cuisine. Here at the Taste of Dublin again, bringing the coffee to the people and the people to the coffee. That's what it's all about, Colin. You're going to talk me through the whole taste of the aromas of coffee, and also we're going to match them up with different ingredients. Isn't that right?
We are indeed. What we're going to do is what we call an aroma lab. We're going to take a trip around the world and taste some coffee from each of the 3 different growing regions. The first thing we're going to do is very simply have a good sniff of the coffee.
Okay. You lead the way.
There we are. What do you think? Smells really rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice aroma. Right going up my nose, actually.
Yeah. Now, a defining characteristic of this coffee is a nutty quality.
Okay.
And it also has hints of cocoa there. So what we're going to do is smell some nuts. We have walnuts and we have almonds.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to take a sniff, and then very simply just go back to the coffee again and see if you can pick those characteristics out.
Okay. Just take a walnut. I like my nuts.
Oh, beautiful.
All right. Yeah, so we're matching up. This is what we're doing.
Absolutely. Are you getting that nutty aroma?
Yeah.
The coffee as well?
When you talk like that, you're talking to my brain, and then I'm trying to define it, and then it starts coming through.
Exactly, and it makes it so much easier to have these things in front of you, because you can talk about like a nutty aroma, but if you have the walnuts and the almonds there and you're smelling them, it's so much better. The next thing we're going to try is some cocoa powder. We're going to bring the sweetness out of the coffee and that little cocoa essence to it as well. Oh, beautiful.
Okay. Oh yeah. So everyone likes coffee or chocolate.
Absolutely. And then if we go back to the coffee, hopefully we're going to get that cocoa coming through.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, you're happy. Yeah.
Exactly, and it's a very useful thing to do. It's almost like the power of suggestion, only the characteristics are in there. We're just helping bring them out.
Yeah. And you're after explaining it very well, because first of all, you just take a neutral flavour of coffee and it just goes up your nose. But then when your brain starts looking for these flavours,
Exactly.
then you can define those.
Exactly. What we're going to do now is taste the coffee. We're going to find out if the coffee tastes the way we are expecting it to, having gone through that stage. Okay. Now what we do whenever we're tasting coffee is we strip it It sounds a little bit like an 8-year-old kind of annoying their mother or whatever, but it is very important because what it does is draw the oxygen into your mouth, spreads it throughout your mouth, and it actually gets it towards the back of your mouth where your nose takes over again. About 90% of your taste or your sense of taste depends on your smell. For example, if you have a heavy cold, you don't taste your food as well.
Yeah.
That's because so much depends on your sense of smell. So would you like to start it?
Yeah.
We can do it on the count of 3.
Okay.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. So did it taste the way you expected?
Yeah, I got different levels.
Yeah.
You know, my brain is working for this coffee now. You
Yeah,
know?
it's quite a mild coffee, but it's also quite complex. There's plenty of flavours going on there.
Yeah.
Did you get almost like a brightness from it?
Well, I'm getting the education path from it, and you know what I'm getting there is a new definition in my brain. Like as a chef, I'm tasting food all the time. I've never really concentrated on coffee. I like my coffee in the morning, and I like it with dinner. But like as you explained there, we're looking at the 3 different elements, and we're looking at the nuts, we're looking at the spice and the cocoa, and that's what my brain is registering now. You know.
Yeah, so that's what you're getting.
Yeah. That was just wonderful. Another journey for me, the Druid Chef, through coffee, bringing all those lovely flavours, and exciting flavours they were. The lovely spices, the lovely herbs, the citrics, and also you're looking at the cinnamon, and don't forget the soil that we went there. This is the Druid Chef, Rory O'Morricon, bringing the coffee to the people, and the people to the coffee.
The general public are travelling so much that their palate is getting a lot more educated and they're expecting a lot more. So they're actually putting us up to the plate to actually create.
But here, I mean, in a city like this, which has become so vibrant, you know, the people of Dublin, they just want good food, but they want good food at good prices.
Feel safe, feel secure. ATA Secured.